Hello everyone, it's my dear husband's birthday today and he's such a lovely man. I said to him, there's not much I can buy you in the shops. What can I do for your birthday? And he said, it doesn't matter my dear. He said, I'd just like something really nice to eat. So I popped into town today to see what I could get him for a really delicious and tasty supper. The price of meat though, of course, as you know, went down to 1 shilling and twopence on the 9th. That's another drop. It's gone down more since the last 3 days. I do wish the government would make their mind up what the ration is going to be. Many people say that Lord Walton is always changing his mind and doing about turns. But you know, I'd rather have a government that reacted to new situations as they happen rather than just sticking to decisions that they made a while ago, come whatever may. And I think all of us in the country know this is a very difficult time we're facing and things are getting worse by the minute. Well, 1 shilling and twopence worth doesn't give me a lot of meat. And I didn't have a lot left on my ration, but I still went to see Sid in Porky Prior's Butcher's, and I was so relieved he had a bit of liver for me. And this is a really nice recipe that I found in one of my new Wartime Cookery books, and it really is a different way of cooking liver rather than the usual stewed liver and onions. And I think it's going to be a really nice birthday supper for my dear husband. I mean, asking for a tasty supper was almost as bad as asking for another pair of sock suspenders with the shortage of the elastic. But good old Sid has done me proud, and I'll be able to make this supper for my husband. Now what I've done is I've just popped in half a pound of liver in cold water, brought it up to the boil. As soon as it was boiling, I've drained it. I've taken any skin off or any connective tissues out of it, and I've now minced it. I'm just on the final bit here with an onion and 2 ounces of fat bacon. Now do it all together. The onion's very hard to mince on its own. The juices create a problem. Make sure you have some meat to help the onion go through the mincer. Now also, of course, I've saved my bacon rind because I can use them on another meal later in the week to add a nice bit of meaty flavouring, perhaps to another meal that actually is meatless. Now that's all my minced ingredients through. So I've got the half a pound of liver that was just blanched quickly. I've got an onion and the 2 ounces of bacon, nicely finely minced. I also soaked a large breakfast cup of bits of dry stale bread, crusts and all. Soak them. I've now squeezed all the excess water out, and with the fork I'm just giving it a little beat to make it smooth and softer. You can of course cut off the crusts and pop them in an oven, a sort of coolish oven, as the oven's being turned off perhaps, and allow them to dry. And we have them as a breakfast cereal with a little sprinkling of sugar and some milk. But as you can see, my soaked bread there has beaten up quite nicely. Now I'm going to start adding all these ingredients together. So I'm going to pop in my minced half a pound of liver, 2 ounces of bacon and that onion into the bowl. And now I'm going to add to this the bread previously soaked and beaten with the remaining moisture taken out. I'm also going to add a breakfast cupful of mashed potato. Now if your family at home are a bit unsure of a liver, this is a really good way of using it in a recipe because it doesn't taste and it doesn't have that texture of your normal fried or stewed liver. Now I'm adding half a teaspoon of powdered sage to it and salt and pepper. Just a little, because I did pop some salt in the water that I brought the liver up to the boiling. Now mix this together and then we're going to add a binding ingredient, and of course that's egg. We always use egg for binding, but I don't want to waste one of my precious shell eggs. I'm going to use dried egg for this. Now because of the moisture in the bread, I shouldn't need to actually reconstitute the dried egg into a liquid form. I'm just going to add 1 level tablespoon. This is looking very nice. Now don't forget, liver is off ration, but not only that, it's so good for you. It's absolutely chocked full of iron, a really good way of getting some essential goodness into the family diet. So add in your tablespoon of egg powder and now really mix this well in so that all the ingredients are combined and you have almost a paste-like consistency. Now that's looking really lovely. Because the liver is minced, it would be smooth and well textured. Now that's about ready to pop into a baking tray or a pie dish to cook. So I've well greased a rather large pie dish, and I'm going to put the mixture into this and press it down well into the tin. You could use a baking tray, a shallow tin. Don't put it in too deep a tin. It does cook much better if it's of shallow consistency. Now I'm going to use my fork and I'm going to press that down into the tin, giving it a rough finish, and I'm going to pop this into a hot oven for just about 30 minutes. Smooth that round, pressing it down. There we go, ready to go in. Well, I'm looking forward to this when it comes out in about half an hour's time, and I hope that you will be too. Let's go and pop it in the oven. Now that smells delicious. Let's have a look. Oh. Now I'm going to keep that warm while the rest of the vegetables cook. I'll lay the table and it'll be ready for his lovely birthday supper. It's on the table.